It took me years and years and years to actually be content with myself or be content with the fact that my dad was gone. It took a lot. It literally, don't cry.
It's amazing I'm here right now. I've been praying I get it somehow. It's all the crying, fighting lies and broken promises. I'm getting over unforgiveness and resentment.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ajai Kafiyah, and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be giving a little bit of advice on how I dealt with the loss of a parent. I know this can be a really touchy topic, and dealing with the loss of someone who's close to you or someone who was near and dear to your heart can be very, very traumatic. It can be very, very hard to deal with. So I just want to help someone out as much as I can, because I wish that the advice that I'm going to give y'all, I wish that I had it, okay? Because when I dealt with the loss of my father, I literally just shut down. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want anyone in my business. I felt like I could grieve by myself, and I couldn't. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first piece of advice would definitely be to talk it out. Like, talk to someone about what's going on. Talk through your thought processes. I personally shut down. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I would literally go to counselor session after counselor session and just sit in the chair just like this. I would just watch the minutes go by, and then when someone came in and said, all right, it's time to wrap up, that was the best time of my life. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want anyone in my business, quote unquote. I didn't want anyone to know that I actually had emotions. I felt like I could just put up this brick wall and just not talk to anybody about anything. And those emotions definitely built up, and it was showing through my actions, the way that I treated people, the way that I pushed people that I loved away. I would definitely push people away simply because I wasn't one with myself. I didn't know how to deal with it. So my first instinct was just to push everybody away. Don't talk to anybody. Ajay, you can deal with it by yourself. That's the things that I would tell myself, knowing I could not deal with things by myself. I was only 10 years old. So definitely talk to someone about what you're going through. There's definitely someone out there who's willing to help you through your grieving process, because everyone grieves differently. I personally shut down, and I know that there's other people out there who do the same thing or who will do the same thing. So definitely talk to somebody, because I'm willing to bet any amount of money there's someone out there who has gone through the same thing that you're going through, or has thought the same things that you're thinking, and they can probably help you through it. And I wish that I was more open to talking to people, because I know that I would have been able to get through that process a lot easier and a lot quicker than I did. It took me years and years and years to actually be content with myself or be content with the fact that my dad was gone. It took a lot. It literally, don't cry. It literally took so much. And now that I'm thinking about it, me being as stubborn as I was and me just shutting down and not talking to anyone was the worst possible thing that I could have done, because there were so many thoughts that were running through my mind. There was so much that I was thinking, and someone out there could have helped me through it. Those counselors who I brushed off, those counselors who I was just mean and nasty to, they were only there to help. Some people take weeks to heal. Some people take years to heal. It depends on who you are. And feeling like you have to suppress your feelings just for the sake of months have gone by, why am I still feeling hurt about this? It takes time, and people grieve differently. People grieve at their own pace. And I felt like, okay, it's been a week, it's been a month, it's been 5 years. Why are you still sad? You know, why is this still such a soft spot? And everyone is different. So if you keep bottling up those emotions, if you keep feeling like you can't be sad, if you keep feeling like you can't cry about it, then it's going to take you longer and longer to heal. And you also never know what goes on behind closed doors. You can see, say, your sister or your mom or your brother dealing with the loss a lot easier or a lot better than you are. But you don't know what happens behind closed doors. You don't know what prayers they're saying at night. You don't know those pillow talks that they're having with themselves. So I would definitely say grieve at your own pace. It's okay to let those emotions out. It's okay to let someone know what's going on. I was so bottled up. I was so angry. I didn't know who I was angry at, but I was just upset because my father was gone. So my next piece of advice would definitely be to grow through your grieving. I personally felt like while I was grieving, I was kind of holding myself back. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything anymore. A little backstory. My dad was my basketball coach, and after he passed, I lost all interest in basketball. I personally feel like if I were to grow through my grievance, I would have continued to play basketball, and let me tell you, I was balling on everybody, okay? But I feel like without him there being my coach, or without him there motivating me from the sidelines, I feel like I didn't have any purpose in doing it anymore. But now that I think back on it, if I were to continue to play basketball, it would have been like I was doing it for him, if that makes sense. If I was able to do something productive on his behalf, or something that I enjoyed doing while he was here, that would have helped me through it, because I would have been like, I'm actually doing something that he's proud of. I'm actually doing something that I was able to build on with him. So definitely grow through your grievance. I always tell myself I shouldn't use my dad's death as an excuse to do nothing, but a stepping stone to do better. And by that, I mean everything that I do from his death forward should definitely be to push myself to do better, or to make him proud, or should be to motivate me to do better for him or on his behalf. So another piece of advice that helped me deal with the loss of my dad was knowing that it gets easier as time goes on. It's definitely something that's hard to talk about initially, especially if it is literally fresh and it just happened. So give yourself that time to grieve, give yourself that time to deal with those emotions, but it definitely gets easier as time goes on. Take it day by day. I had to tell myself that, because I thought that I would feel better a month after his death, but then I realized he's actually gone. Like, he won't come back. So it definitely takes time to deal with it. It takes some time to accept that they're actually gone, like they're never coming back. But it does get easier as time goes on. If you let those emotions out, let someone know what's going on, it definitely gets easier. So don't feel like you have to deal with it by yourself. Don't feel like every day is going to be worse than the last, because that's how I felt for the first 5 years, 6 years. I felt like my life was over. My life was just falling apart because my dad was gone. He was no longer there. So that brings me to my last and final piece of advice: to take things day by day. Your life is definitely going to change. I can tell you that. Everything is not going to be the same. Your daily routine might definitely have to change. You might have to adjust to living without your parent, whether it's your mom, your dad, or even just a parent figure that's in your life. Your life is going to change, and things aren't going to be the same as they used to be. But like I said, it definitely gets better. It might be hard to deal with your emotions initially, but things are going to get better. Like I said, it takes time. It takes time to grieve. It takes time to grow. So it's definitely important to be able to positively deal with those emotions. I hope this video was helpful to anyone dealing with the loss of a parent, or trying to figure out how to deal with the loss of a parent. I know it's definitely a touchy topic. It's something that is hard to deal with. It hurts. I know that you're hurting. So definitely take this advice to heart. Please be sure to like this video, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. While you're down there subscribing, you might as well click the bell button so you get a notification every time I post a new video. It's been real, y'all. Ajai Kafiyah checking.
That chapter's finally closing. Where I'm at now, I won't be caught. I hope you know